was closing into like nearly going to 57s.
Yeah.
That was the point. I think my heaviest was like 55.
Yeah. How'd you feel at 55?
Disgusting.
Did you feel huge? Like,
it wasn't that I felt huge. It was the fact that like, so like if people don't actually know me, like I'm not even 5 foot tall.
yeah.
I'm 4'11" and a half, like max.
Yeah.
I was actually struggling to go up and down stairs at 55 kilos.
I can't remember if it was an ab series or an IPF I helped out at. This is before I'd ever spoken to you or anything like that. You were in the back and I don't know who you were talking to, but you were with someone. I genuinely thought you were somebody's little sister. I thought you were one of the lifters, like little sister or like
child.
Yeah, straight up, like you're very, very small. So like even I'm sure there's people like this is the point. I've had Jake Brennan in this chair who is literally 3 times your body weight. And it's probably bizarre for people to hear that, like going up and down the stairs, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, packing a few extra. There's a bit too much dip on this chip, you know?
Yeah. And it wasn't until I hit that like 53 kilo mark and I was like, right, okay, myself and Katrina, like I cut a little bit of weight before I started working with her. And I was like, right, I just want to get myself healthy, happy, and consistent with my eating. Because obviously, like I work in a hotel. So I'm not the best at planning or meal prepping.
Right.
I'm quite a lazy and convenient person, which is probably also why I'm in the 52s, because I couldn't stick to a diet.
Right.
So I eat what's convenient. So obviously, hotel food, restaurant food, it's not ideal for if you're trying to be an athlete.
Probably not the most macro-friendly food.
No, it's not. But it was the easiest for me at the time, and I could actually sub them in with my meals when I was working with Katrina. But after all that, I think I cut down to about 51, so that's in and around where I am now.
Yeah.
And it's only in the last, I'd say, just in and around when Shane's podcast actually came out, where I was like, oh my God, my hormones were non-existent pretty much. Like I said, like my libido was non-existent.
Yeah.
For so long. I had no interest whatsoever in going near anyone. I didn't even want anyone to be near me, like. And I'm not sure that was just due to my own like self-consciousness, whatever.
Well, I would kind of equate it to this. Like when you're actively trying to lose weight, you're putting yourself in a position where your body has now a limited number of resources or energy or calories or whatever you want to say to basically keep you alive. So you have to be able to do certain things. You know, you still have to be able to get up and move. You have to be able to potentially lift yourself, lift things and perform tasks. So your body's going to start getting rid of any non-essential. Like, for example, the riot is not essential to you staying alive another day. You know what I mean? It's great, but it's not something that like your body is going to prioritize. Like the production of the hormones or the feelings or the whatever it is that drives this is not necessarily imperative to you surviving another day. Same with what you'll hear people saying they're hangry or they were grumpy or they weren't themselves on a diet. Like they were not in a good mood. Again, you feeling good is not paramount to your survival. You can feel like shit and still live another day. So I think that's one of the kind of cycles people get caught into when they're trying to be a lighter weight or a certain body composition. And it's probably a good, now I'm sure there was a whole mental struggle that came with embracing being heavier, but it's great that you were able to see the benefits to it. Not just like, obviously in the sport, you're going to be eventually like when you fully, when you've been in that weight class for a while now, you're going to like be a lot stronger, move a lot better, recover a lot better. But even on a more social basis, you know what I mean? Like for energy for day-to-day life, your job, your education, dating, whatever it might be that's a priority, you're going to have so much more available resources now. And that's one thing I think people, that's like the dark side of diet. And I think sometimes, and particularly in the fitness industry, there's always people chasing, cutting and being leaner and all this. And it's I've spoken openly about it on the podcast. One of the things I do like about powerlifting is that it can encourage people, and I think particularly females who feel like a bit of social pressure to look a certain way or be a certain size or be a certain weight. It encourages them that you can still be incredibly feminine and attractive, or you can still have a body you see yourself feeling good in or performing well in or whatever it might be, and still be a little heavier, and it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. So